Backlash 2024, but it's late. Y'all, so I gave my review on Backlash on Patreon, but I'm gonna tell y'all how I felt about Backlash. For me, I gave it a 10 out of 10. And the reason why I gave it a 10 out of 10 because from start to finish, for me personally, it was the crowd. I love the way the crowd treated every single match. Like the way that their cheers or their chants, it was just so fun. And to me, it felt like they treated every single match like it was a main event. Like the energy was high from start to finish. And I love that. Like as a viewer watching, it was really, really fun. And they just made me like, it was, I don't know, like I didn't want it to end. Like every single moment for me was like memorable. Everybody's energy was on point, the wrestlers energy, the crowd energy, the announcers, like everybody was just, it just felt really, really good. And I love that. For me, the highlight was the crowd. But yeah, we're gonna watch this video, so let's watch.
Backlash went international once more. The show wasn't hyped that much, but it had that element of being outside the US and being Cody Rhodes' first title defense. It was a good event that highlighted just how tremendous the European crowds were. Lyon, France held this event. To say it was exciting would be an understatement. WWE is kind of lucky that they could take things slow and use it as an excuse for this build. I wasn't interested in any match on the show barring one, the main event. The crowd though was one of the best in wrestling history, and that's saying something. Hell, you could even go and say this was the best wrestling crowd you've ever seen. They were shouting out there like Olympic Lyon won the French League, the French Cup, and the Champions League. It was ridiculous. One of the best crowds ever. They made the commentators seem like they were prime Stone Cold when they came out, and WWE went on the fact that whatever they put out, people were gonna watch, and that's exactly what happened here. So right now, let's get into it. The first match on the show was a tag team match. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton faced Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. The story of the bloodline is taking a turn. Roman Reigns' hiatus away has allowed for many changes to happen.
Dude, Roman as a face? I'm so here for it. I'm ready. Like, come on, bro.
What was once a strong empire, the bloodline had fallen into ruins in the aftermath of WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso was kicked out, Tama Tonga debuted, and Solo sees a clear path to where he can become what Roman once was. This is very interesting because it allows for the tribal chief to come back and challenge Sikoa on what he's done. The reason why that's good is not because we have to watch a long Solo Sikoa match, but because Roman Reigns turns face and changes his style all around. This match was chaotic in the beginning, which led to Nick Aldis making it a no DQ match.
Which was
this was a great decision
crazy.
because it gave the heels more freedom to wrestle in a violent way and sell the new.
It was good, but Paul was trying to tell Nick, like, look, dude, because he, like, Paul, okay, he knew, like, he's trying to protect everybody. And, you know, him and Nick was going back and forth. He was like, look, if you go through with this is going to be on you. And then Nick came out and was like, look, no rules. I'm like, you gonna let them have no rules? They're gonna kill each other. But yeah, it was good.
Partnership between them. A normal match wouldn't really help establish them as well as an ODQ match would. There was some violent stuff going down. Orton's son was great. Tama Tonga took a lot of punishment to the back, and the crowd was really into the match. The heels won, which was expected. It was a great match though, and it wasn't like they won it clean. Tonga Loa returned to WWE, but this time he wasn't on a bike and I was laughing. Everyone thought it was Jacob Fatu, but not only was it not him, but it also proved that the bloodline has wrestlers coming in like unlockable characters. So there it is. This is a good opener, very exciting, great stuff. Crowd reaction was tremendous for Kevin Owens.
Dude, they had Paul on his knees. Look at Kevin. Oh my God, the drool, the dribble. But Paul, he was trying to let them know. He was trying to let Kevin and Randy know. Look, it was just crazy because, like, you know, he's bloodline, but he was trying to, in a way, protect them. But Paul was like trying to hold them off, dude.
And Randy Orton, they loved them. They absolutely despised Solo Sikoa, and the debut was a bit of a shocker. I only see him as an additional like body with the bloodline. I don't really see much with him, but he matches the vibe with the faction. He's literally related to them, so it makes sense. Alright, the next match is a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley defended the title against Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Bayley's finally gotten a babyface run with the title. It's well deserved for her contributions throughout the years. This match was very good, and with the crowd by their side, it only made things better.
Right.
The action never got dull, and with the way the match went, I wouldn't have a problem with a rematch. Bayley retained, of course, but the other two had strong performances that only make their future look brighter. Naomi and Tiffany Strand did well with their position, and I wouldn't be shocked if they run it back sooner rather than later. Great
I'm
stuff.
here for it.
The next match is the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest defending the title against
Poor
Jey
soul.
Uso. This was somewhat surprising for a
Jey.
first title defense. We went from Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre to this already. But even though it was a downgrade, I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. The story was mostly about Priest and his problems with the Judgment Day. He wanted to do things alone as opposed to needing their help, and at times, it was cost to get matches. Here, Jey and Priest had a very good style of wrestling. They masked a lot of their shortcomings and in turn had a pretty good match that surpassed my expectations. Jey Uso was spamming super kicks though, and in between there was a couple of interferences from JD McDonough and Finn Balor. This tied into the story and also made it seem like Jey was winning the title. In the end though, he was no match for Priest, who had to drop him from the top rope to retain the title. They tried to attack after the match, but Priest pushed them away, signaling a face turn was happening. It's gonna happen, but I would have preferred it went a bit differently. This feud is obviously a quick one to get Priest his first title defense, and the big story is clearly with the Judgment Day. Priest is probably going to be kicked out of the group, leading to Balor taking over. The question though is, will Priest do it as champion or not? The next match is WWE Women's.
I really feel like I really deep down in my heart watching that whole match, I felt like Jey was gonna have it. He would have, but you know, them two came out and, but no, that match was so intense. Like I felt myself getting like a little emotional watching it because I'm like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, Jey is about to do this. Like it's about to happen. Like I was at the edge of my seat and he didn't win, but he'll get his time.
Tag Team Championships. The Kabuki Warriors defended the titles against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. These two have been making a lot of noise recently. Cargill's WWE debut went perfectly and showcased her strengths a lot. Her charisma, her star power, and presence. This match is a bit obvious to me because of that, and we all knew that they would win the titles, but it was a pretty good match. I didn't have much thoughts about it because it seemed predictable, but they masked Cargill's shortcomings in a good way, just like they did with the previous match.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a workhorse while Cargill was a hot tag sequence that changed everything about the match. Asuka and Kairi once again showed their level of talent here, especially Asuka, who's 41 but still rolling around like she's in her peak. Jade was the weakest part, which was expected. She's kind of green. I heard some say the ref was talking to her at some point, but I couldn't hear any of it. I see this titling going on through the summer, leading to Jade turning heel. I don't see it being Bianca because there's more to offer with Cargill as a heel. And the main event, Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against AJ Styles.
I love this main event.
This is the match I was waiting for. It carried this pay-per-view for me because if it wasn't the main event, I'd have zero interest in the show. I just didn't care that much about them. I watch a pay-per-view for great matches, and what this card had to offer wasn't that interesting to me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. With that said, it's been a couple of weeks into Rhodes' title reign, and people are already complaining. There was one point where Cody had 2 promos, and people were like, "Oh, it's bad. Roman was a better champion." This guy didn't even have a chance to have his first match.
Damn,
people
already?
are whining like he held the title for 3.5 years. When it comes down to it, in a couple of months, we'll see how the title reign goes. But for the moment, just watch. The thing is, people like,
Damn, y'all shitting on him already? Let him cook. Damn.
their agendas being proven true. They like being validated, and if you hate on something enough, maybe it becomes true. But we got a great main event. We don't want to talk about that stuff. This is not the video for that. AJ Styles has once again showed up. I almost missed this version of AJ Styles. I will apologize to AJ Styles. I thought he was washed. I actually thought AJ Styles was done for. There was just a dry spell in his career. He's older. He's gotten more tired. Plus, they weren't pushing him hard. He's gotten older, but this heel turn has really brought some fire in him. And even though he's hurting and in pain, he's doing everything he could to put on great matches. Styles' theme song kind of upset me here. I thought we should have gotten his phenomenal song with the crowd in France, but it is what it is. The champion, of course, had a ridiculous reaction from the crowd. The match was what I expected it to be. These two put on a classic, pure wrestling, the likes we haven't seen at the very top of the card in a while. I don't really remember the number one guy having a main event like this. It sounds like I'm glazing, but just understand for a moment, we're not pushing no Cody agenda. We haven't seen a WWE Championship match with no interference since Roman Reigns' match with Matt Riddle.
That's what I said in my review. Like, it was just two awesome wrestlers going at it. No extra shit, no interference, no nothing. Like, they both put on a hell of a performance, and I gave a lot of props to AJ. Like, he snapped. Like, I was not expecting for it to be that good. It was good.
Riddle. It's refreshing, not to mention there was some unique stuff about this one.
Yeah.
The fact that finishers felt stronger here. It was like any of their big moves, if it was hit, would win them the match. AJ, though, showed up. I'm glad he did because I was starting to miss that old version of him. He was a great opponent here, and I personally wouldn't have a problem with him doing a rematch. Great stuff with Cody kicking out of a burning hammer and showing fighting spirit. It reminded me of one of those AEW spots where the guy kicks out at one and makes a comeback. Shockingly, that actually never happened there with a burning hammer. Kayfabe explanation, storyline explanation. AJ didn't master the move in storyline, and he ended up messing up. Cody makes a comeback, and he dropped Styles with the Crossroads to retain the title. Great stuff. This is a main event. At the end of the day, this is what I missed. Alright, that's Backlash. This event actually surpassed my expectations. Everything about it was so good and provided a lot of optimism towards a lot of guys in the company. Jey Uso had a tremendous reaction, one of the best reactions in the entire show. I loved everything about that. And
Naomi too. I was so proud and happy how they treated Naomi. Her theme, like, it made me so happy because they were turned up. Like, that whole time, even with Jay's, it felt like we were in a nightclub. Like, they was partying during their themes. Even like they were singing along to Randy's theme. I was like, oh shit, they're singing Randy's theme? And they were like doing the crowd participation with Samantha with the announcements. Like, they did their thing.
Orange entrance, KO. If I had to give a negative for the show, I just don't have one. I don't
either.
A bit grander because of the fact that they were in Lyon, France. They could have done more, but what they did with the show was good. You know, it was a very strong event. It's almost a perfect event, I'd say. The way it was booked, everything about it was perfect. It's not a 10 out of 10 event, obviously, but I'm just saying they booked everything and did everything to the maximum. So I thought it was one of the best shows in the entire year. It was great. Match of the night was Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I just loved it. It was a classic main event. Something, you have that image in your mind of what it's going to be, and it was just that. The crowd was ridiculous throughout it. It was already crazy throughout the show, but here in the main event, they were at their craziest. The arena was shaking. They were yelling Cody Rhodes' song. They're shouting in French. WWE's got to do an event again there. They got to do an event in Paris. I don't know if they could do an event in Brussels and Belgium, but I'm just looking forward to some interesting stuff. A show in Amsterdam, Madrid, do another show in England. It doesn't have to be in London. It could be anywhere else. But they know better than us. You know, at the end of the day, WWE knows better than us how to book these events. But I'm just hoping they do more in Europe and South America, because here, these crowds are hungry. They're starved. They're very interested in the shows, and they're very invested. They make the shows better. Even if the matches here were underwhelming, I was always going to like this event because of the crowds. So yeah. Alright, what you guys think of Backlash? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the splash on the like button. And
yeah, for so many of like our bigger stars to be like injured right now. There was no Roman, there was no Seth, there was no Rhea, none of that. But I love the way that they treated everyone. And like I said, they treated every single match like it was a main event, and it felt like that, like watching it. So the energy was like, I feel like the wrestlers gave them energy, and then they gave their energy right back. So it was just like, it was high, good energy all around, down to the announcers, down to the commentators, the wrestlers. Everything was just, for me, that made it a 10 out of 10. And I love how they treated everyone's themes. And their chants were, oh my God, I love their chants so much. Even like, I didn't understand some of the things that they were saying. It was explained to me in the comments. I was like, oh, okay, that's dope. I like that. But yeah, my reviews on like some of the matches, Jade and Belair's match, that was really good. Oh my God, Jade is a fucking beast. Like, the way that she caught Kyrie and then she like spun her around on her neck and then she did her finisher, I was like, oh my God. And she's so, and they said that during the match, like she kind of like manhandled her, and I noticed that too. Like her style of wrestling is like a little like more aggressive, and I like that. So that match was really good. Jay's match up against Damian Priest, like I said, I really felt like, oh my God, this is we're about to witness this, we're about to have this moment, whatever. But you know, it ended up not happening because of bobblehead and Finn. So yeah, that didn't happen. But you know, it was entertaining seeing Damian kind of yoke up Finn. So, and also too, I said in my review or reaction or whatever, I said I was on his side. I was on Damien's side because it's like, bro, like let me I don't need y'all. Like let me prove that I can do this. But it was like, can you? Because Jay was doing his thing or whatever. It was really close. And had they not helped you, what would the outturn? What would it be? You know, what would the outcome be or whatever? So the way I predicted in the future, when he loses that title, they're gonna back off, or like he said, Damien might end up leaving or whatever. But if they were to back off and be like, all right, you got it, and then no one comes out and helps him, he ends up losing. So that's like a small prediction in my head that I have. And what else? Naomi, Tiffy, and I can't think of her name right now. That match was really good. I enjoyed that match. And then the main event was phenomenal, no pun intended. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, they both put on a hell of a show, just showing pure talent, and I was not expecting that. Honestly, I was not hyped up. Even what he said in the video, I really honestly was not that hyped up for that match, because it's like, not to be shady or whatever, but I'm not really on the AJ Styles train like that. Like, yes, he's good. I'm not saying that he's not good, but I'm not really on the AJ Styles train. And AJ just like showed me, like they both did a hell of a job and kept up with each other. And I said that when you felt like, okay, AJ is on top, Cody came back. When you felt like Cody was on top, AJ came back, and they both were like matching each other so well. And it's like, oh shit, AJ is like really like showing his ass right now, like doing his thing. So yeah, that main event was very, very satisfying. The whole show from start to finish was very, very satisfying. I did not want to miss a moment. I don't even think I took a break. I don't think I took a bathroom break. I don't think I took a snack break. I just sat there and I watched it from start to finish. So yeah, that was my reaction review. Leave some comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. I probably forgot to mention some things, but yeah, it was a lot to talk about because that was a really, really good show. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one. Toodles.